With the release of Pokémon Champions, you've decided you want to try competitive Pokémon, more specifically the VGC formats that are used for official tournaments. In this video, I hope to get you battle ready in about 5 minutes. Let's do this. There are 2 applications on your Nintendo Switch or smart device that you'll need to start up playing competitive Pokémon. Of course, Pokémon Champions, as well as Pokémon Home. Pokémon Champions is where your teams will be stored and where you will be doing all of your battling. In order to get Pokémon and Pokémon Champions, you're going to need to recruit them from the ranch, or you're going to have to transfer them in from Pokémon Home. At the ranch, you will be able to recruit and return Pokémon, as well as receive Pokémon and return them to Pokémon Home. If you choose to recruit your Pokémon from Pokémon Champions, you will be able to get a new lineup every 22 hours for no cost. Here, you can choose from a list of randomized Pokémon. You can do a trial recruitment for 0 VP, get a permanent recruitment for VP, or a permanent recruitment using one of these little tickets. If you want to be able to get more Pokemon faster, unfortunately you're going to have previous Pokemon game data. This is where Pokemon Home comes in. In Pokemon Home, you can transfer all of your Pokemon from previous Pokemon games over to Pokemon Champions. Unfortunately, for free, you're only going to be able to get 1 free box on Pokemon Home. From here, it's pretty simple to take your Pokemon from a previous game, put them in Pokemon Home, then connect to Pokemon Champions and put them over there. The next unfortunate part is that Pokemon Champions only allows you to have 30 Pokemon stored at a time. That means without spending any additional money, you're only looking at being able to get about 5 teams at a time. In the early formats of Pokemon Champions, you'll find that the central mechanic is going to be Mega Evolutions. This is what your team is going to be built around. I recommend looking online for eligible Mega Evolutions in order to figure out what you want to build your team around. Next, you need to find out what Pokemon you want to pair with your Mega Evolution in order to have the best possibility of success. Consider your central strategy, or even type matchups that you want to pair for. If I choose Mega Feraligatr, I'm probably going to want to pair it with something that's going to be able to take care of those pesky fairy types. Therefore, a Steel type or even a Poison type Pokemon would be a good option. What kind of support is your Mega Evolution going to need? Does it need Tailwind to go faster? Does it need Trick Room for a slower Pokemon? Research the available Pokemon in the format in order to get an idea of what you'd like to fit on your team. In VGC, you have a team of 6 Pokemon but are only able to choose 4 in each match. That's 2 Pokemon to throw out at the start and 2 waiting in the back. Each of these Pokemon can hold up to 4 moves, have a held item, and have 1 ability. Note that abilities can change on the fly when Pokemon Mega Evolve, such as Feraligatr starting with the ability Sheer Force and gaining the ability Dragonize when it Mega Evolves. Finding out what each of your Pokemon's abilities do is very important to how you play the game. In VGC, you're limited to 4 moves per Pokemon, so you're going to have to figure out what moves you want to fit on each one. Maybe you want to use 2 slots for your same type attack bonus moves. Maybe you want to use another slot for some sort of utility move, or a boosting move. Maybe you want super effective coverage for a Pokemon that would normally give you grief. Most likely though, you're going to want to run the move Protect or Detect, some sort of move that can stop you from being attacked for a turn. These are very important in VGC, and when you really need that 4th move and don't know what to slap on, just hit it with Protect. It'll always help you. It's also important that you take into account your Pokemon's ability options. So for example, a Pokemon like Feraligatr would normally start with an ability that only boosts its power whenever it's at low health. You're probably going to want to start with an ability like Sheer Force that does extra damage with secondary effects, but removes the secondary effect. Last but most important, you're going to want to train your Pokemon in their stat points and their nature in order to fit the build that you're going for. If you want to be as fast as possible, put 32 points in its speed. If you want to be stronger, put more points in its attack. Choose a nature that boosts what you need and lowers what you don't need. For example, an adamant nature on Feraligatr, boosting its attack and lowering its pointless special attack stat. Once everything looks good for your Pokemon, you can commence training with VP. After all of your Pokemon have been successfully trained, you'll want to go to your item shop and purchase the items that you think fits best for them. For a Mega Pokemon, you'll need to use their Mega Stone. For fast, frail Pokemon, you may want to give them a Focus Sash so they can live one hit. For Pokemon you want to stick around as long as possible, maybe you want to give them a Citrus Berry, or maybe a berry that reduces damage. Once all 6 of your Pokemon have been successfully trained, move them into your battle team and get playing. Thank you all for watching this quick little tip tutorial video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section down below. I'll also be linking several community resources that you can use in order to better team build in the description down below. I'll talk to you guys later.